Hi everyone, my name is Bailey. I'm one of the customer success coaches here at iDecide. I do these trainings every Thursday. I'm going to teach you how to use our iDecide and GoHighLevel integration. So if you use GoHighLevel or any of the white labeled versions of GoHighLevel, we do directly integrate with it so that all of your information can pass between iDecide and GoHighLevel. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and share my screen. If at any point you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. I think I'm the only one who can see them. I do have the chat up, so I'll be able to watch them. I am going to open it up to a live Q&A at the end though. So if you don't have questions or I don't get to your questions, I will get to all of them at the end for sure. Okay, so GoHighLevel, if you've used it, you probably know it's not the most intuitive or user-friendly version of a CRM. It is a little bit complex. And so that's why we launched these trainings because first you have to understand GoHighLevel and then you have to understand GoHighLevel with iDecide, right? So we're going to cover how to confirm that you're an agency owner or a sub account user within GoHighLevel because you have to activate the integration at the agency level and then make it available on your sub accounts. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Then we'll go over how do you actually activate it and how to manually send out presentation links through GoHighLevel. But this is where I think GoHighLevel starts to become a really amazing tool for you is how do you actually automate the link creation and sending it out through GoHighLevel. Um, so those workflow automations are going to be super important. So, first is what the heck is an agency versus sub account level, right? It's really important to understand the structure of GoHighLevel because it's really important in the iDecide integration part of it. So, the agency owner is the person that owns the entire GoHighLevel account, and then they manage all of the different sub accounts. Sub account is going to be the individual teams within teams or companies within the agency. And then the user is going to be the individual reps or people that are assigned and use that sub account level. So this could look a couple different ways based on your structure of your company. But an example of what this would look like is your company would have the agency account. All of the teams would have their own sub account, and then all the members of that team would be users within that sub account. So you might also have a white labeled version where you purchased a CRM through a company and they operate through GoHighLevel, right? Or a lead connector might sound familiar to you. So then the person or the company that you bought your sub account or your CRM from is going to be your agency level. You probably have that sub account level, and then all of your team members will be users of that sub account. So how do you even figure out what that means, right? How do you know if you're the agency owner? When you're in your GoHighLevel back office, if you click on the name up at the top by where your logo is, if you click that name, you should see switch to agency view, or you'll see a bunch of different sub accounts. Or if you're already on the agency view, you'll see agency dashboard. Like you'll see it here in this agency dashboard, see where it's highlighted agency dashboard. Or if you click on your individual name, it will say in blue, switch to agency account. I'll show you this live too in a second. Once you confirm that you are the agency owner or you have permission from your agency owner that you can activate the integration, you're going to visit idecide.com/install GoHighLevel. You have to email us for specific login credentials. Then you'll enter them there and then you select which sub accounts you want to have access to. Then, when you're in the sub account level, you're going to go into your sub account. On the left hand menu, you're going to see the iDecide logo, and then you're going to enter your iDecide subscription email and password. So, this is where you actually log into your iDecide subscription. It's really important to note, this is where those levels come into play, that each individual user within the sub account must also be logged into their iDecide. The reason for this is that like your team might have a sub account just because you log into your iDecide subscription. If your users and your team members don't have an iDecide subscription, they cannot send out iDecides through your account. You can't share, they do have to log into their own account. So I'll show you this as well. So now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and this is where the interactive part comes. Let me just make sure, are you guys able to see my screen? Um, okay, yes, perfect. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't just sharing one specific tab and that I am also sharing the GoHighLevel. So this is our GoHighLevel agency account for iDecide. We have as iDecide an agency account, and then we have sub accounts for each team. So our like team, our iDecide team, our programming team has a test account, right? So this is our agency dashboard. You'll see here agency dashboard. That's how you know you have an agency account. Or if you click up here, it will say if you're inside a sub account, it's going to show you, let's go into the programming one. It's going to show you the switch to agency view here. Okay. So once you know that you have the agency account, then you're going to just click on this. You're going to visit decide.com/install GoHighLevel, and that's going to automatically open up the integration. I always do this. It's HTTPS. Come on. Okay, I'm typing it in wrong somehow. Anyway, you're gonna go to this get installed GoHighLevel, and it'll automatically bring up the app marketplace where you'll log into your credentials. And then once you have it activated, you're going to see the iDecide logo down here. And this is how we start to activate it on the sub accounts. So since I'm in my sub account, I see this logo. You're going to click on this, and this is where you're going to log into your actual iDecide subscription. Important note is if you come up here, you can also log in as your different users. So if I were to log into, let's say, the iDecide one, the Bailey one, Bailey has to also come in here and log into her subscription. Bailey is me, by the way. So I would have to log into my own. So let me see if we have Kevin test user. Let's see if it'll show you. Okay, so here. So Kevin has not signed into his subscription yet. So Kevin is going to click on this logo and he's going to see this location where he can log into his email. Even though at the sub account level, I had it logged into mine, Kevin cannot send out links from my account. He has to log in as his user and also add it in to log into his subscription from there. This is really important because any workflows that you set up, they are not going to work unless you are also logged in as the user. So let's say you don't have any reps and you are only operating as yourself, right? And you are the sub account user and the user. You also have to log in on technically, if you're the agency owner, you have to log in 3 times. You have to log in using the integration credentials we give you on the agency level. On your sub account level, you're going to want to log into your integration, and then each individual user also has to log in. And this is how the automations operate. And that's going to be a really important part of what I show you today. Do I have any questions on just activating the integration? Okay, no questions coming in. That's where I see a lot of the issues happen is just because people don't know that that user level even exists within GoHighLevel. So as long as everyone's clear that you have to log in on all 3 levels of GoHighLevel, then I think we're good to move on. So now that I've signed into my account, I want to go and I want to send a contact a personalized link. So you can click into your contacts and then programming. Okay. And now here you see all of our test emails. So I'm going to send to my test email. You could either click on these 3 dots and click on send an iDecide, or if you click into the user's profile, you'll have where you could type an email or a text message based on what you have in their contact field. So I don't have a phone, which is why I don't see texting. You'll see this iDecide logo where you can enter in your presentation test, create the link. You could copy it to the clipboard, or you'll see that it automatically adds it here. And I clicked it twice, so So I had added twice. Then you could just send. This is how you manually do it. If you're back in that contact view and you click on send an iDecide link, it's just going to create the link that you can copy and then you can paste it anywhere that you'd like. So if you have like Facebook Messenger, you could just go copy it over there. Any questions on how to do it manually? That part's easy. The login part is probably the hardest. Okay. Then let's see how to send links in iDecide. And then how are we going to set up the automations? Because everyone always says, great, Bailey, this is amazing that I don't have to log into GoHighLevel and iDecide. But now, how do I actually get it to just automatically send? Nobody wants to do the work manually, right? I have 338 contacts in here. How do I get new contacts to be sent it automatically? And that's where these automations come in handy. We are going to create two workflows today. One is going to be how do we automatically send new contacts the iDecide link. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to send links automatically. Automatically, right? We're going to have the trigger when a contact is created. But you can do any trigger. Maybe you want the trigger to be when you tag someone a specific way, then you want them to. Or once they reply to an email, you want to send them the personalized email. Whatever you want the action to be that notifies iDecide, hey, I want to send them an iDecide presentation. I'm going to have it be that every new contact is going to get a little welcome email for me that has their personalized iDecide link attached to it, right? So every time a contact is created, I am going to create a personalized link for them and my iDecide and then the sender. What I would do if you're a sub account or if you're a sub account owner, you're creating this, I would set this up so that it could be used by any user. So if I were to hard code it into me as the sender, even if Kevin sent a presentation, it would always say that Bailey is the sender. We don't want that 90% of the time. So what you want to do is you want to click these three dots and click dynamic. And then you're going to use this little dynamic tag for the user's full name. Actually, I think I set that up wrong. The sender, it should not be the full name. You need to use either the user's email or the user's ID. And this is how iDecide starts to connect the user's account in GoHighLevel to the user's account in iDecide. So, for example, if you do the mistake that I just did and you put the full name, what that's going to do is it's going to tell iDecide John Smith is creating this link, but iDecide has a million John Smiths in our back office, right? We have a million users under that name. So that's not going to be enough for us. What we do is email or the iDecide the ID. So it has to be one of these two, and that's how we actually differentiate. So I would do the user email. And see, I'm glad I make these mistakes in real time so that when you're actually going and doing this, if you make that same mistake, you can see how to fix it. So now we need to tell GoHighLevel, okay, great, we've created this personalized link for this user. Now, what do we do with that link? I'm going to send an email. The from name, now we're going to put the user's name, the user's full name, because now we're building out the email. It's going to say it's from Kevin R. Then the email, it's going to be from the user's email. I really recommend, even if it is just you in your company right now, I recommend doing these dynamic tags so that when you do grow as a company, you don't have to worry about updating all of these down the line. If it is just you, they're going to work anyway. So this is just a way to start setting yourself up for success early on. So use those tags. The subject, you could be your interactive experience. Oh, wait. You're going to obviously put the subject of whatever makes sense for your business. And then you just build out what do you want that first email to say to your contacts? Hi, I wanted to say, hi, contact, first name. I'm happy to connect. Here's an interactive experience that I personalized for you. check it out and we'll connect after. Then what we're going to do is we want to come and get the link, the personalized link that we created in this step. So you're going to click on these custom values, scroll all the way down to custom values, get out of the contacts, scroll all the way down, and you're going to see iDecide. Then we're going to see this step one, create personalized iDecide link, one, create personalized iDecide link, and then you're going to get the actual URL. The presentation is just going to be the title of the one that you created. So we want to make sure that we're getting that actual URL for them to click. And then best, get out of here, go to users, full name. So now this is the email that will automatically send to all of our users. It's going to say, hi, their first name, your message, the personalized URL. Excuse me, I keep hiccuping. The personalized URL and then the user's name. I always like to track clicks and then save action. And it's not easy. Just 3 steps, and now you're automatically sending every new person a personalized experience. Do I have any questions about this step of the process? Okay, that's good. Good news. If you have questions, feel free to still throw them in the chat. I'm going to build on this and go on to the next level of complexity. So we've showed you how to send manually. We showed you how to automate the sending. Now I'm going to show you how to build a complex workflow where you actually follow up with them based on what they choose in the presentation. So we're going to come back out here and we're going to create a workflow from scratch. And I'm going to say follow up automatically. Great question that came in. If we need someone to do this for us, is that a service that is provided? We typically charge $100 an hour for our team to provide services for you guys. So if you do have a follow-up system that you want us to build, you could reach out to our customer service team. It's hi@idecide.com. You can tell us a little bit about what you want us to build or what you need built, and then we can give you a quote on how long we think it will take us. I do also just want to preemptively say that we are iDecide experts. We are not GoHighLevel experts. I've gotten really good at building workflows as they relate to iDecide. I wouldn't say that like we are expert GoHighLevel users that can build any automation for you. We internally only need to know what we need in order to support our team and our users, right? So I want to just say that just because I sound like I know what I'm doing, I'm still not a GoHighLevel expert. I am an iDecide expert. But if you reach out to hi@idecide.com, tell us a little bit about what you're trying to build, and then we can give you one, an idea if we will be able to build that for you, and if we can, about how long it would take us and how much that would cost you. Okay, so now we're going to go into building the follow-up. So instead of having this trigger be when someone is when someone is a new contact, we want the trigger to be iDecide finished. You could add filters. So if you have multiple presentations added to your account, but this workflow should only pertain to one of those presentations, you could add this filter and you'll do if the iDecide is whatever company. I only have this test one in here now. So I'm just going to delete this. Save trigger. Then what I want this to do is I want it to get answers that people are answering throughout the presentation. So if you just type in iDecide, these are all the things that you could have as an action. Um, Viewer choice condition. This is going to be if they chose that. Let's see, what is the test one? I think the Alliance is the test one in here right now. They're a financial company, a financial advising company, and one of their questions is, are you a licensed agent already? You could have it do a viewer condition where if they say yes, it goes down one path, and if they say no, it goes down another. Um, Anything that's ever labeled legacy, this is outdated and I would not use it. I would go for this get viewer choice that doesn't have legacy added. And this is just going to get the viewer's choices for a specific question, and you can use that later. And then multiple choice option is if you have a question in your presentation that's like select all that apply, you can click on this one and get all the answers that they selected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a viewer choice because I think this is the most common one that people will use. It's pre-populated with this, just leave this as it is. For iDecide, you're going to choose the presentation that you want and then choose which question in the presentation you want it to retrieve. I'm going to use the example I used earlier with licenses held. So licenses held is the question. So this is just going to pull the data. Did they say yes or no to the license question? If this is a written response one, like let me go back in here. I think languages spoken, this is an open-ended question where we just say what languages do you speak, and then it gives them a place to type. If that's the case, it's going to be able to pull exactly what they typed. So for this example, I am going to have it um, get the viewer choice about if they are licensed. Then I'm going to add a step where I actually wanted to update a contact field that I created. And I wanted to update licenses held. And I wanted to just enter in their the question, the answer from this question. So you're going to click into this little dynamic tag, scroll all the way down to iDecide. iDecide finished. Oh no. I want to do not this iDecide. I want to do the second iDecide because this iDecide is going to pull from this iDecide finished. This iDecide is going to pull from this question. And then I wanted to actually just enter in their choice. So now I have this custom field in the contact that says, are they licensed? And then it's going to pull their answer and update their contact profile. Then I want to do an if statement. And if iDecide, get viewer choice is yes. Now I'm going to have this condition where, like, if they are licensed, yes, it's going to go down this follow-up path, and no is going to go down this follow-up path. So, where this becomes really helpful is you could start to tailor your follow-up sequences to them. If they're already licensed, you can just talk about how easy it is to switch from your company to ours because you're already licensed, right? If they are not licensed, you could say the alliance helps get licensed doing X, Y, and Z. No need to worry that you don't have a license yet. We can help you do that. So the verbiage is going to be different. So now if they are licensed, I'm going to send them an email that says, you're one step ahead, right? You're one step ahead. And then this whole email sequence is going to tailor towards that. So email, you're one step ahead. And you're going to actually fill these out, right? So from name, from email, we're going to follow that same step that we did in the last one. Write out an actual email that makes sense, right? I'm just doing this so you could start seeing how the branches look. And then this email is going to be email if not licensed from, say, we all started in your shoes, right? Because everyone who is licensed all started out not licensed. So save the action. So now you see how these start to branch out based on what they chose in the iDecide presentation. You can make these as in-depth as you want or as simple as you want. What I would do is think about how you actually follow up with someone, right? So like if we were to right now you have iDecide, we send you notifications at the end when someone's done watching and we tell you what they chose along the way. How do you use that to follow up right now manually, right? And then you can just take that and then put it into a workflow. So if you say let's use a different example. Let's use Mary Kay as one of our more well-known like beauty product people, right? So completely different from this example. Let's say in Mary Kay, you could choose to I'm interested in makeup, I'm interested in skincare, or I'm a man interested in men's skincare, right? How I follow up with someone that wants makeup and how I follow up with someone that is interested in men's skincare are completely different things, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get their choice, like how did they say they wanted to move forward? And then I'm just going to build out these branches based on, okay, if they said that they want men's skincare, right now, what is my flow? How am I following up with them? If you send them an email and a text and then wait for their reply before following up, build that out in this workflow, right? So if they chose men's skincare, then you're going to send them a text, or we already have this email. We're going to also send them a SMS, right? Then you can do, we'll just do test here. Then you could say, I usually wait for a set period of time. I usually wait 2 days to follow up and then save action. And now see you have it here where, okay, so if this is being replaced with men's skincare, I'm going to send them that email and the text, and then I'm going to wait however many days before doing the next thing. So take what you're already doing manually and then just build that out in your workflow. And if it makes like if it's a little bit too hard to visualize and GoHighLevel, because I think GoHighLevel could be very overwhelming, especially when you start, take a piece of paper and just like write out like, okay, when someone watches my presentation and they choose men's skincare, what have I done for the last 3 people that have chosen men's skincare? Write it out. And then say, okay, but if they chose makeup, what did I do? And then write it out. And then you kind of have this like idea on paper, and it's a lot easier to just come in here and say, okay, I send an email. I'm going to add a step to send an email. But it can be very overwhelming. So I completely understand. GoHighLevel is, I always say, it's an amazing tool once you have it set up. Before you have it set up, it is one of the most complex systems that I've ever had to learn, is even at iDecide, and we are a tech company and I'm really tech savvy. So I showed you a lot today. I tried to layer it in steps, right? Activating the integration is step one. Then manually sending it out is the easy part. Start off with that. Setting up that first automation where it just automates how you send it is going to be intermediate. And then building out a workflow that responds based on what the viewer chose is going to be more advanced. So, based on wherever you are in your GoHighLevel journey, you can have different places to start. We are here to support you any step of the way. We do offer all of these different ways to get support. We have our email, we have a knowledge base, we do social media, we do these live trainings every Thursday, and we do have video walkthroughs. We have a YouTube channel, but you could also just go to idecide.com/training to see them. I am going to also open it up to a live Q&A right now. So, um, we had someone ask how much it is to have someone to do it for you. If you have, if you want to put in the chat right now what you're trying to build, I can do it live for you and kind of walk you through how you would do that. Or do you guys have any questions? Have you already started trying to build workflows and you're stuck somewhere? How right now for the next 30 minutes, you have time to ask me any questions that you have on GoHighLevel as it pertains to iDecide. I can't answer questions about GoHighLevel like their platform, but if you have questions on how it works with iDecide, you have 30 minutes to get your questions answered. Maybe put in the chat, are you guys more like GoHighLevel advanced, or are you guys more GoHighLevel beginners? And then that gives me a little bit of an idea of where you're at in your journey. Mm. Okay, someone said I added an AI voiceover, but it's not playing when it's live. So I don't think this pertains to Go High Level. I think this is more of a builder question. So I'm assuming, Cherry, do you have a My iDecide subscription and you're having issues with that? Yes. Okay. I might. I'm gonna pull up your account after this call. I'm gonna write down your name. Okay, so I'm going to go and check your account after this call and see if I can figure out what's going on, and then I can give you an email after letting you know either one, how to fix it, how I fixed it, or if there's an issue, just some sort of an update. Uh, I'm glad that you mentioned that. It's under a different name because I was totally going to be lost after this call. Mark. Okay. Okay, someone said that they just hire someone to create workflows. That's a great way to go, especially, I mean, this is one of those platforms where I just think it takes so much to understand that it you almost need to full-time dedicate to go high level. If that is the case, and you have someone that's actually built out, there is someone that you already work with that has already built out your workflows, I have a couple recommendations for you. One is have them work it into your existing workflows. So, for example, if they already have a workflow, when you get a new prospect, it goes through this whole prospect workflow, right? Just have them activate the integration and put it into the emails that you're already sending. So, for example, let's see. I'm trying to see if we already have any set up, but yeah, complete. Okay, well, let's just do. Oh, okay, so let's select it from a template and then convert lead. I don't know, we'll just use this one. So this is going to be my example. Pretend this is the workflow that your person already has. I think I chose a terrible one. Okay, this is a terrible template. I was hoping that template would just have like more of like a basis to start from. Lead nurture maybe. Okay, let's choose this one. I'm hoping that this one just kind of looks like your workflow probably does, right? Okay, perfect. So this is like more of a basic, like, okay, great. Someone is a lead, you're going to wait a month, you're going to email them, you're going to send them another email, and this is just kind of like that normal follow-up sequence that most of us have to nurture your lead. So, Rich, you probably have something like this set up already if you have someone that you hired to create a workflow. So instead of having them just completely rebuild a workflow, iDecide could fit into what you already have. So if, they already have this thing, I would just have them add a add a step with that iDecide personalized link. Sender is going to be the user, ID, save action. And then in this email that they already have set up, you're just going to have them add in the iDecide link. So you don't have to really redo all of your things. iDecide could really work into like the process that you already have. If you see that your like nurture sequence is working, you just want to add this interactive element to it. Take your nurture email and then just say, okay, like I created this interactive experience for you. You already have the email structure. You already have like something that is working. So all you have to do is just add this interactive element throughout it. So that would be a really good place to have. It would be a good place for even you to start if you have a good understanding, like a basic understanding. Maybe you don't know how to do the whole workflow, but you understand, like, oh, okay, I know that, like, if I want to change the wording of an email, I know I just log in here and I can click on this email and change it, right? So you can even just go in and do that. So let's say you wanted to just go and you don't want to pay someone to do this. You could just add this step, click into any of the emails that you want to add it into, and then just use that dynamic tag here. And again, it's going to be here. Scroll all the way down to iDecide, and then you'll see it's always named the same thing as the step is. So if I change this to personal link, you can know that you're grabbing the right tag because value is going to be iDecide personal link. So that's how you know you're getting the right step. Does that make it a little easier? Because then you don't have to build out this whole flow. You already have one. Hopefully, I'm not confusing you guys more. My goal is to make it seem like this is really simple because it can be once you get used to it. But I know if someone has never logged into GoHighLevel and they expect this to be a walkthrough of GoHighLevel, it could be a little bit overwhelming. This is really supposed to be, okay, you're using GoHighLevel. Now let's make it more efficient by adding iDecide into that. Do I have any other questions? Yes, I could definitely send out a recording of this after. Any other questions before I let you guys go? Okay. Oh, okay, perfect. Someone said, do we need to download an iDecide app in HighLevel? Yes. So if you missed the beginning part of our training, you do need to activate the integration at the agency level. So all that you have to do is email hi@idecide.com and request that integration be created for you. We create a special integration login for your agency owner. If you are the agency owner, that's amazing. You'll be able to activate the integration. But if your company is the agency owner, you just need to make sure that they're willing to activate it into your sub account for you. Then what you do is you're going to just visit idecide.com/install GHL. You'll use the credentials provided by our team, and then you select which sub accounts you want to have access to. Okay, perfect. You are the agency owner. Great. Send us an email. Send us an email asking for the integration, and then the team is going to create that integration. They'll send you the login instructions, which basically just include this. And then you're going to activate it at the sub account level. So I'll just quickly walk back through that. So when you are in the sub account that you want to actually send it from, you have to log in two places. You have to come down here, you'll see iDecide, this little logo, and you'll log in here. But your individual users also need to log in. So log in as, if you click on this up here and click log in as, you'll see all the different users in the account. So let's say Bailey, which is me, wants to log in, wants to send out an iDecide presentation. She also has to come in here and log in. But you'll see that Kevin, test user, Kevin has not logged in yet. He will not be able to send out iDecide links, and the workflows will not work when Kevin is trying to add contacts or send out links. Each individual user does have to have their own iDecide subscription. So just because you logged in at your sub account level doesn't mean that all of your users get to use iDecide for free, even though that's what most people want it to do. Everyone does have to have their own iDecide subscription because we put the names in the presentation, we put who the sender is, and then they get all those notifications as well. So it's really beneficial for everyone to have it because then they can follow up with their leads efficiently. If they don't have a user, a login, no problem. They don't have to use iDecide. The workflows just won't work for them, you know. And um, if they do have one, they just have to log in on their own. So there's three places as the agency owner that you need to make sure everything is logged in at. The agency needs the integration login. The sub account, you need to log into yours, and individual users need to log in. So there's kind of three levels to GoHighLevel that you need to make sure you're logged in at. Great question. Any others? Or if you have any questions on this, since this is the first time you're saying it, do you have any questions on activating it at your sub account levels or signing in? Okay. I don't see any other questions coming in. If you do have another question and maybe you just didn't have a chance to type it or you didn't know how to articulate it or you didn't want the focus on you during this training, you could always email hi@idecide.com. I'll come back here and bring this up. Hi@idecide.com. We have knowledge-based articles. We do these trainings every Thursday and we do have YouTube walkthroughs. So um, feel free to try to get help again and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining me today.